Imagine you are a developer working on building an API. You have got a lot of requests to create, data to test, and documentation to write. That's where Postman comes into a play. It's a tool designed specifically to help you with all those tasks. With Postman, you can easily create requests and test responses all in one user-friendly interface. You can organize your request into collections and folders, making it easy to keep everything organized and find what you need. But Postman isn't just for building and testing APIs. It can also help you document them. With Postman, you can create documentation with descriptions, request examples, and response examples all in one place. If you are working on team, Postman makes collaboration a breeze. You can share collections and leave comments and feedback, ensuring that everyone is on the same page and working towards the same goals. Having said that, let me tell you about agenda for today's video session. We'll begin this session with what is Postman, uses of Postman, creating and managing requests in Postman, as well as creating and managing collections. Next, we'll cover testing APIs, environment and variables, collaboration and sharing, automation and integration, and best practices and tips. But before we begin, please make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit that bell icon for regular updates from Intellipaat YouTube team.
Now let us get started with our first agenda, which is what is Postman. Postman API is a popular tool used for testing, developing, and documenting APIs. It provides a user-friendly interface for sending HTTP requests, verifying API responses, and collaborating with team members. Postman API is widely used by developers, QA engineers, and DevOps teams to simplify the process of testing API and building applications that rely on APIs. One of the key features of Postman API is its ability to create easily and manage HTTP requests. It supports a variety of HTTP methods such as get, post, put, and delete, and allows users to set headers, parameters, and authentication methods for each request. Postman API also provides a history of requests and responses, making it easy to track changes and debug issues. Postman API supports a wide range of APIs, including RESTful APIs, SOAP APIs, and GraphQL APIs. It also allows for the creation and management of collection of requests, making it easy to organize and manage complex API workflows. Additionally, Postman API allows for the creation of mock servers, which can be used to simulate API responses and test API functionality without relying on a live API. Postman API also supports collaboration and team management features, such as the ability to share collections and workspaces with team members, version control, and commenting on API requests and responses. Furthermore, it provides automation capabilities, allowing for the creation of automated tests and the integration with other tools and services, such as CI/CD pipelines and test management systems. Overall, Postman API simplifies the process of testing and developing APIs, saving time and reducing the risk of errors. Its user-friendly interface and collaboration features make it a popular choice for teams of all sizes working on API-driven projects. Let's move on to our next agenda, which is the uses of Postman. Firstly, we have creating and managing requests. With Postman API, creating and managing requests is made easy through its intuitive user interface, which allows users to easily set headers, parameters, and authentication methods for each request. When creating a request, users can specify the HTTP method they wish to use, such as get, post, put, delete, patch, or head. They can then set the headers and parameters required for the request. Postman API also provides the ability to create dynamic variables for requests, which can be useful for testing APIs that require dynamic inputs. For example, a user can create a dynamic variable for an email address and use it in multiple requests. This can be especially helpful for testing workflows that involve multiple API requests. Once a request has been created, Postman API allows users to save it as a part of a collection. Collections can be organized into folders, making it easy to group related requests together. Users can also create sub-collections within folders to further organize their requests. Collections can be shared with other team members and can be exported and imported as a JSON file, allowing for easy sharing and collaboration. In addition to creating and managing requests, Postman API also provides a testing framework for verifying API responses. Users can create tests for each request, which can include assertions to ensure that the API response is what is expected. Tests can also be used to verify the structure of the response, check the HTTP status code, or validate the response against a schema. Overall, creating and managing requests with Postman API is a powerful tool that can help developers and QA engineers streamline the API testing process and reduce the risk of errors. The ability to create dynamic variables, organize requests into collections, and create tests to validate responses are just a few of the features that make Postman API a valuable tool for anyone working with APIs. Moving on to the next use, that is creating and managing collections. Creating and managing collections is a key feature of Postman API. Collections allow users to organize and manage their API requests in a logical and structured way. With collections, users can group together related requests and share them with other team members or export them as JSON files for use in other applications. To create a collection in Postman API, users can simply click the New button in the top left corner of the application and then select Collection. They can then provide a name and description for the collection and add requests to the collection. Requests can be added to a collection by either creating a new request or by importing an existing one from another collection or API. Once a collection has been created, users can organize it into folders to further structure their requests. This is particularly useful when working with large collections that contain many requests. Users can also add metadata to collections, such as tags, which can be used to filter and search for collections. Collections in Postman API can also be shared with other team members. Users can invite team members to collaborate on a collection, which allows them to view and edit the collection. Collections can also be shared publicly by generating a shareable link. This can be useful when sharing API documentation or examples with external stakeholders. Another powerful feature of collection in Postman API is the ability to create and run automated tests. Users can create tests for each request in a collection, which can include assertions to ensure that the API response is what is expected. Tests can be run manually or as part of an automated testing framework, which can help to reduce the risk of errors and improve the quality of API testing. Creating and managing collections in Postman API is a powerful tool that can help developers and QA engineers to streamline API testing process and organize their API requests in a logical and structured way. The ability to share collections with team members and automate tests further improves collaboration and efficiency, making Postman API a valuable tool for anyone working with APIs. Let's move on to the next usage, that is testing APIs. Testing APIs is a critical part of the software development process as it helps ensure that APIs are functioning as expected and delivering accurate results. Postman API provides a variety of testing features to help developers and QA engineers efficiently test APIs, validate responses, and automate testing workflows. Postman API allows users to create and run tests for each API request. Tests can be created using JavaScript and can include assertions to validate the API response, check for specific values or data types, and validate the response against a schema. Users can also write custom code in JavaScript to create more complex tests and automate testing workflows. Postman also supports the use of test suites, which allow users to group related tests together and run them as part of an automated testing workflow. Test suites can be used to test specific parts of an API or to test an entire API at once. Users can also set up multiple environments such as development, staging, and production to test APIs under different conditions and environments. In addition to running tests, Postman provides a variety of debugging tools to help developers troubleshoot issues and fix errors. Users can view detailed logs and error messages for each API request and can use these tools to identify and fix issues quickly and efficiently. Postman also provides integrations with other testing tools and services such as Jenkins, which can be used to automate testing workflows and ensure that APIs are tested consistently and thoroughly. Testing APIs with Postman is a powerful tool that can help developers and QA engineers ensure that APIs are functioning as expected, deliver accurate results, and are robust and reliable. Moving on to the next usage, environments and variables. Environments and variables are important features in Postman that help users create flexible and reusable API requests. Environments are collections of key value pairs that represent different environments such as development, testing, and production, whereas variables are placeholders for dynamic values that can be used in API requests and are resolved at runtime. Using environments and variables in Postman, users can create API requests that can be reused across different environments, making it easy to test APIs under different conditions and environments. For example, users can define different URLs, API keys, or other parameters for each environment and use variables to reference these values in their API requests. Postman allows users to define global variables that can be used across all collections as well as collection specific variables that are specific to a particular collection. Variables can also be defined at the environment level, therefore allowing users to define different values for the same variable in different environments. In addition to defining variables, Postman provides a variety of built-in functions that can be used to manipulate and transform variables. For example, users can use the random function to generate random values, or the timestamp function to insert the current timestamp into a request. Using environments and variables in Postman, users can create powerful and flexible API requests that can be easily customized and reused across different environments. The ability to define and manipulate variables along with the built-in functions and integrations with other tools and services makes Postman a valuable tool for anyone working with APIs. Moving on, let's talk about collaboration and sharing. Collaboration and sharing are key features in Postman that allows users to work together on API development projects and share their work with others. These features can help improve team productivity, reduce development time, and ensure consistency and quality in API development. Postman allows users to collaborate on API projects in real time. Multiple users can work on the same collection simultaneously, making it easy to share ideas and coordinate work. Users can also leave comments and feedback on API requests and collections, allowing for easy collaboration and communication. Postman also provides a variety of sharing features that allows users to share their work with others. Users can share collections with other team members or with the wider community, either publicly or privately. Collections can be shared as links or as downloadable files, making it easy to distribute and use collections across different platforms and environments. Postman also provides integrations with other collaboration and project management tools such as Jira and Trello. These integrations allows users to seamlessly share their API work with other tools and services and to easily track progress and communicate with team members. Postman also provides version control and history tracking features, allowing users to track changes to their API requests and collections over time. This can be especially useful for larger teams and more complex projects where multiple people may be working on the same collection or API request. Moving on, let's talk about automation and integration. Automation and integration are very important features in Postman that can help users save time and streamline their API development workflow. These features allow users to automate repetitive tasks and integrate Postman with other tools and services, making it easier to create, test, and deploy APIs. Postman provides a variety of automation features that allow users to automate API testing, documentation, and deployment. Users can create automated tests for their APIs, allowing them to quickly and easily test API functionality and ensure that their APIs are working as expected. Automated tests can be run as part of a CI/CD pipeline or on a schedule, making it easy to test APIs on a regular basis. Postman also provides automation features for API documentation, allowing users to automatically generate API documentation based on their API requests and responses. This can save time and ensure that API documentation is always up to date and accurate. Postman provides a variety of integration with other tools and services such as Jenkins, Git, and Slack. These integrations allow users to seamlessly integrate Postman with their existing workflows and tools, making it easier to create, test, and deploy APIs. For example, users can use the Jenkins integration to run automated tests for the APIs as part of a CI/CD pipeline. Users can also use the Git integration to easily version control their API requests and collections and to collaborate with other team members. The Slack integration allows users to receive notifications and updates on API testing and deployment directly in their Slack channel. Now let's move on to the best practices and tips. Postman API, as we know by now, is a powerful tool for API development, and there are a number of best practices and tips that can help users get the most out of it. Let's take a look. Firstly, organizing your requests. Organize your API requests into collections and folders to keep them organized and easy to find. Use descriptive names and labels to make it easy to find and identify each request. Next is using variables. Use variables to store values that are used across multiple requests, such as authentication tokens or API keys. This can save time and make it easier to update values across multiple requests. Using environments. One must use environments to manage variables for different environments such as development, testing, and production. This can help ensure that API requests use the correct values for each environment. Moving on, writing clear and concise tests. One should definitely write clear and concise tests for your API requests to ensure that they are working as expected. Use assertions to verify the response data and check for error conditions. Using the documentation features. Use the documentation features in Postman to create clear and concise documentation for your APIs. Use descriptive names and labels and provide examples and explanations for each request. Collaborating with team members. Use the collaboration and sharing features in Postman to work with team members on API development projects. Share collections, leave comments and feedback, and use integrations with other tools and services to streamline the development process. Using the automation features. Use the automation features in Postman API to automate repetitive tasks such as testing and documentation. Use integrations with other tools and services to automate deployment and other workflows. And lastly, staying up to date. Stay up to date with new features and updates in Postman. Join the Postman community, attend webinars, and read the documentation to learn about new features and best practices. By following these best practices and tips, users can get the most out of Postman and create high quality, reliable APIs. And that's it for this video. Thank you for watching.
Just a quick info, guys. Intellipaat provides full stack web development course in collaboration with ENICT IIT Guwahati. The course link of which is given in the description below.